Lake Worth. The Lake Worth monster was first seen on a hot summer night, and I believe it was 1969. Three young couples were parking in cars, enjoying a romantic view of the lake, when suddenly a huge beast leaped out of nowhere and landed on the roof of one of the couple's cars. It was covered with fur and scales and looked like a cross between a man and a goat. When the couple saw the hideous beast, they began screaming. The creature bounced up and down on the car roof, bashing and tearing at it with his claws as if he was trying to get to the people inside. The couple started their cars as quickly as possible and drove away, leaving that monster howling and thrashing in the undergrowth. The terrified couple showed up at the Fort Worth police station. They were so terrified that, as unlikely as their story sounded, the police officers believed that the couples had definitely seen something. The frightening nature of the attack made the police take the incident very seriously, and they decided to investigate. 4 police cars raced to the scene, only to find it quiet and deserted. There was no evidence that any monster had ever been there. However, when the police examined the couple's car, they found an 18-inch scratch along the car roof. It seemed that the scratch had been made by a claw of a large beast. The next day, newspapers ran a front-page story with the headline, "Fishy Man-Goat Terrifies Couples Parked at Lake Worth." The story obviously created a sensation at Fort Worth, and that night, many people gathered at the lake hoping to catch a glimpse of that monster. Suddenly, people heard a fierce, howling cry. Someone spotted the creature crossing a road. It ran up and down a hill, and it was seen by at least 40 people as it crouched on the edge of the cliff. Within moments, the police were on the scene as well, observing the monster lumbering around on the bluff. When some of the spectators tried to approach the creature, it howled and jumped off the cliff. Then it picked up a car tire and hurled it towards the crowd. People began to panic and raced back to the cars, trying to flee as the monster went on to its rampage. In the confusion, the police tried to corner the creature, but it took off into the woods. The police shot at it, but the monster escaped and disappeared into the night. One witness described how the creature showed up and started yelling and throwing tires like frisbees. It was a total panic, with everyone running into each other and burning rubber just trying to get out of there. For the next few weeks, groups of armed men searched the woods and fields near the lake at night. On one occasion, they spotted the creature and fired at it. They followed the trail of blood to the edge of Lake Worth. On another night, 3 men were driving past the lake when the monster jumped on top of their car. The shock made them lose control of the vehicle, and they crashed it into a tree. People who lived in the area reported hearing the monster's strange howling at night and smelling that beast's foul odor. They also found several sheep whose necks had been twisted. They were half-eaten, and many believed it was definitely the Lake Worth monster. A man camping in his sleeping bag in the back of his truck when he was suddenly attacked by the monster. In desperation, he threw the bag of chicken at the creature. The beast stuffed the bag into its mouth, then jumped into the lake and swam off into the darkness. That was the last sighting of the Lake Worth monster, although traces of the monsters continue to be found throughout years. The funniest theory about the Lake Worth monster come from a young boy at the time who decided he knew where it came from. "It was chased down here by the moon by astronauts," said the boy, "and it fell through space. It became so hot that it caught fire, but it landed in the lake and it was saved. Now it is wandering around as puzzled about what it is and where it is as we are." People still visit Lake Worth area and ask local questions about the creature. Is there a fishy man-goat out there? Is Lake Worth monster still on the loose? If you want to see for yourself, take a long, lonely ride around the Lake Worth after dark on a quiet night. But don't go alone. It's way too scary out there.